Welcome back to Automation, the car company Tycoon game, and of course beamng.drive 2. Today we're going to be doing something interesting to say the least. We are just going to be using online randomizers to randomize literally everything you can input into a car and making a 100% completely random car. This is going to be really goofy. We'll start off with the year, let's roll, and our car is going to be 1985. Now we need a second number between 1 and 25, and that is 18. Now that is because there are 25 1985 bodies, and the 18th one is this one, so that's the one we are going to be using. Panel material is fiberglass. A ladder chassis, made out of galvanized steel. A longitudinal engine placement, with leaf suspension in the front, and double wishbone in the rear. Oh my god. This is what we have, and it's going to be interesting to say the least. Anyways, now it's time for an engine. And I'll try and spare you for this last part, and I'll randomize all the suspension off camera. The product we're left with is pretty interesting, to say the least. Like, what is this? Seriously? Yeah, this is gonna be really interesting. Looking at these statistics, it is incredibly bad. 0 sportiness, 7 drivability, 0 comfort. Quite a lot of prestige, actually. I think that's because of the luxury interior. It's actually safe almost. How? Well, not really. Fuel economy is honestly, like, it could be worse for a truck from this area, especially something randomly generated. It is incredibly light, weighing only just a bit more than 1,000 kilograms, which is around 2,300 pounds. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's check out the top speed of this thing. 150 kilometers an hour. That's not even bad. Too bad it does have a 2-speed advanced automatic. And a 0 to 100 of 21.2 seconds. Oh my god. Now it's time to go ahead and design this thing. That's something that AI is not gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and design this. Or actually, AI could do this. Oh my god, wait. Okay, I had an AI generate this image. I typed in 1984 pickup truck, and this is what we got. So this is what I'm gonna base it off of. Cool. I hope you all enjoyed that, what I hope was not too long of a time lapse. Anyways, here you can kind of see a look around of the vehicle. Tell me if it looks kind of like those AI generated images. That totally was not a part of the plan, by the way. I just thought of that, and I realized that would be kind of pretty cool. This was probably around what I was thinking for this vehicle. Anyways, looking at these tires, this thing is crazy. I'm really interested as to how it's gonna drive. We're definitely gonna almost import that into BeamNG. Here, as you can see, let's just take a really quick look at the stats. Fuel economy is terrible. It is incredibly cheap at 18 grand. Not that anyone would want to buy this though. Understeer isn't even too bad. The suspension is what I'm mainly incredibly worried about. It's been a while since I recorded the first part of this video, so what was the engine? The engine, that's at least not dangerous, right? I don't even think we have too many bad bottlenecks there, in terms of the engine, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, as I said, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't put too much effort into this. But some of the beauty of these trucks is that or at least what this thing is based on, is that they're kind of simple, right? As you can see, let's just import this into beamng.drive. Here we are in beamng.drive, and I'm not sure if you can hear this thing, but it sounds pretty insane. Well, it sounds really weird. It sounds way too loud. We can just start driving it here, and you'll see that it drives really quite well. Or well, that as in that it's fast. It for the rest doesn't really drive that well at all. The steering is honestly, for what it could have been, it is all right. This is mainly the brakes that are absolutely terrible. That was the wrong button. Let's just move on to the highway here. I'm flooring it right now, just in case you guys were wondering. After first and maybe also second gear, we can't really do anything anymore. So I'll just shift to the side view of this, and then I'll press the brake really lightly, and it almost immediately locks up. You barely have to do any braking for it to lock up. Also, the steering is incredibly heavy for some reason. It takes an incredible amount of power to steer. It is interesting. Also, by the way, yes, we are taking this over to the automation test track in a second to drive this. So interesting car. Probably the worst part of everything is the suspension. If we can actually gain some speed, I'll take the exit here and find a place where we can test out the suspension a little. 150 kilometers an hour. Now, honestly, this is not that bad for the 72 horsepower and like 115 or 20 newton meters of torque, right? I'm not sure how much torque it had anymore. Anyways, let's see if we can take this maybe off-road somewhere so you can see this thing absolutely hop like a rabbit. This seems like the best spot. I mean, you can kind of already see it when I hopped over that curb there. But this thing has absolutely no suspension. Honestly, I'm surprised that it has enough power to climb on top of this I was gonna say mountain, but it's actually a hill here. As you can see, this is dramatic. We can take a look from the side as well, and you will notice that even though it sits really high from the ground, the suspension does very, very little for us. I think we've also like smashed the front here somewhere. Yeah, the steering is kind of gone. Let's fix that. Anyways, not a great car, but what did you expect? Also relating to this, which is something I got the idea from, was that I actually made a car using ChatGPT, or actually like 3 at this point. So I will put those videos in the description, probably link them on the end screen eventually as well, if you guys want to watch those. Anyways, right now it's time to test this out on the automation test track. I test every single car of mine here, so I'm obviously going to test this one too. Kinda don't really remember it being this slow, although it probably just feels slow because I'm actually racing on a track now. Let's see how well the steering holds up for us. We are absolutely spewing gas out of this thing. I'm flooring it too, by the way. I haven't let go of the gas like a single time yet, which is probably a good thing. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what this advanced automatic transmission is doing for us, but I don't think it's doing a lot. You know, maybe you guys could automatically AI, like, randomly generate. Oh god. There we go, back on track. As you guys know, not the best brakes over here, so I'm gonna try and take it a little slowly. Just got them locked up there, but nothing dramatic. As I was saying, if you guys would like to, of course, you can also randomly generate a car, and I definitely like to see what happens when you do that as well, right? Now, I'm thinking, did I also generate a random number for the gearing, for like the gear ratios? Because at this point, I definitely feel like I generated a random number for it, and it came out at 20. Because this is terrible. I also think I geared like the top speed weight. Oh, never mind. I just remembered that this thing is in fact a 2-speed. So that explains a lot. Oh, okay. Now I remember and I recall and I understand. Oh dear. Let's we can save this. We can save this. Not the best suspension, but this is a truck, so oh my god, my steering wheel did not like that at all. Bumps are not a good thing for this. Now, we're not going incredibly fast, but I don't want to brake too late for this thing, because I just know that the brakes are going to lock up. This is like the only car ever on this track that I've been able to floor it almost the entire time. So, you know, flooring it, and we're getting there. But yeah, the advanced automatic 2-speed is definitely the biggest bottleneck in this thing. Second place is probably my driving skills. This is terrible. Looking at the time though, honestly, we're gonna get a sub 3 minutes. And if we can, then I'd actually be pretty happy with that. You know, for how terrible this thing is. Like, that is, I don't feel like that is even that bad. So, this is the last turn here. Also, I keep on forgetting to say this like every video, but you can download this car if you want through my Discord server. The link to that is in the description. You can download this car and any other car I've ever made. Sadly, not below the 3 minutes. I'm willing to bet this is the worst time I've ever gotten on here, and apparently it is not. So here we have the Murata DH Carlick, which was basically a competitor to the MG Midget, which was this tiny car. I think I gave it like 20 horsepower or something. It accelerated really fast to 30 kilometers an hour, and then it just stopped. And the Guinea G12 Mark II, that was just a really cheap economy car based on the Volkswagen Golf Cabriolet of like 1980s. So honestly, the fact that we don't have the worst time here, that isn't even bad. Oh, and look, we only just beat the Ibishu Covid with a 1.5 liter engine. That is actually pretty surprising. So apparently most of the cars I make are pretty fast, which I guess makes sense, because who wants to make boring, slow cars like this, right? You know, if you guys like this video, then I am willing to try this again and see if AI random generation is still random, but a bit more in my favor maybe, and in the favor of you, the viewers, of course. Anyways, that was basically it for right now, so thank you ever so much for watching, and I definitely do hope to see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.